Today for my daily sketch, I am going to be doing part 2 of the R2D2 drawing. For these, you will need 3 markers or color pencils because you need to have a thin line to be able to get into the details of this drawing. I chose these 3 colors, black, gray, and blue. And although this blue looks pretty bright on the lid, when you apply it, it does not. Anytime you want to check how does a color look when you apply it, don't go and start working on your actual project without testing. So just kind of in a corner or in the back of the paper, just in a little corner, you can test out the color, or in a different page, just test out the color before you go on to your actual work. This is really meant to be practice, but I like the way it turned out, and I want to try to experiment with color with these markers and see how I can color it and see if it matches pretty close to what the original is. So I did get my mechanical pencil, especially because I need this nice control eraser for something. I looked at my drawing one last time with fresh eyes this morning, and I realized that I needed to adjust a little bit right here to make this look more round. And then down here, I forgot one little line right here. So I put in this line and I cleaned that out. And oh, I also forgot these little guys. So as I took one glance and I checked every part, just glancing through it, I realized this was missing. So you can adjust that on your drawing. Then also, I realized this was a little bit too high on this side. So to fix that, you can kind of eyeball where are you, and it's like down here. It's just a bit further down, and then look back and forth and you'll see it. I always tell my students, look 3 times, like back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and you will catch yourself on those 3 times. So this is ready. My next step here is to use the skinny marker. And with the skinny marker, I'm going to start outlining everything. Be careful not to lean on the actual paper. And sometimes I like to have an extra piece of paper just to prevent myself from doing that. So it could be an envelope, it could be, for the size of my sketchbook, an envelope is kind of perfect. So I'm gonna use this envelope, and I'm gonna hold that here to keep my hand from touching the pencil marks. Normally I would turn my sketchbook around to get the motion of my hand going, but I am just going to try to keep it straight so that I don't move the frame. And just like you did with the pencil, you could control how heavy you press your marker and go slowly. And I'm just starting with this section, working with the natural movement of my hand, bringing the line slowly. Even if you get a little bit of a nervous line, that's okay, because it brings in a little bit of the human touch. Andy Warhol used to have those little dotted broken lines in his work, and that made it very special and very recognizable, actually. So you go like this, and I am outlining everything with black. Nice and easy. This marker is a permanent marker, so it opens possibilities. You can actually use a water-based marker on this, and then it would not smudge. But I am just gonna use markers for the whole thing. I also like to use color pencils. Let's see, slowly bringing in I am not pressing full on this. I'm just barely tickling and being careful not to stay at one particular point. Just sit my marker down because the paper will continue to absorb the ink, and then you end up with like a messy ink blob. Okay. There's no particular correct way to do this, where to start or where to go next. Outline it however you want at your own rhythm. See, like right here, I want to be using the curve, the natural curve that happens when I move my hand in this angle. That's why I position my hand up here. Like I said, don't press hard, just press super gently. And the ink will do its job by itself. And don't forget that your sketchbook is for trying things out. So if this works out, awesome. If it doesn't, c'est la vie. That's life. It's practice. So you don't have to be all upset that, oh no, my R2D2 didn't work out. It's fine. Try again. Or go on to something else, then come back. It's up to you. Again, I'm holding my pen way back here. I'm not right on top of it, just going like this, pressing heavy, because this helps me to control that pressure that I am applying to my object, okay? To my drawing. Nice and easy. Okay. And I'm so tempted to flip my book. Slowly. I'm kind of systematically going through. It's up to you how you do yours. Even as you are tracing the object, I would be looking again at my original, which is what I'm doing. I haven't put it away. I have it right here in front of me, and I am checking all of these detail, and I am not pressing heavy with this. I'm pressing very softly because you could mess it up right now. See, this one's a little crooked. And then this one is inside of that one, so I gotta be oh so careful. Okay, this is weird. Here I go. I'm going to turn these so I can have the natural movement with my wrist to get these other parts done. Oh my goodness, it's the other way. Upside down, this way. Okay. So now I'm going to work with gravity. See what I was saying about gravity? So I'm going like this, going a little bit into here, and now I'm going to have flow. To keep the flow going, you just have to be at that angle. And I normally flip my book as I'm sketching. And it's easy, you're just making a line, touchdown, lift, touchdown, lift, as you go. See here, then touchdown, then touchdown. It's like breaking it down into a little system. These little guys, do all of those. And do all of these little guys. Little by little, conquering notch by notch. And this is the strategy that I would use for this part. there's a line between those, but not between these two. And then there's a line right here, but it does not go all the way through. This line is right there. So this is gonna get erased after I get going. This line is gonna be blue, but this line well, there is a little skinny line right here. Go super slowly. You're working from your wrist. Nice and slow. I still have a little bit more to go. Up here, you see how I keep the distance and I'm relaxed. And I'm working just like I do with my pencil. Nice and easy. Figure out where this line goes, and it actually, I'm looking at everything and it goes through and through. So I'm just gonna slowly bring it, and then up here I'll draw this little bit, this little bit, and these little bits right here. Okay, so all of these curves are done. Now I'm going to turn it this way. Okay. And I am going to curve this little bit right here. I am just finding the best angle. When something is difficult, sometimes I slow down, and then that's all I need to do to help myself. Okay, so that's all the black outlining as far as I can tell. Oh, looks like I missed a little tiny bit right here. Always check, double check, triple check, because we're humans. We miss stuff. Right here, when you do the erasing, if you didn't outline it with pen, it's gonna go away. Okay, I'm double checking. Alright, so I'm done with the black. I'm gonna start with the blue. There are some gray areas on my object that I want to leave. Okay, let's see. Yeah. Oh, I'm doing it again. I'm turning it. Sorry guys, I have to. So over here, this part is going to be blue. I'm going to grab the edges. Slowly bring it in. Again, you don't have to press hard. Don't press hard. Okay, here we go. Starting to put some blue on R2. Blue up here, and whether you do marker for this part or color pencil, it's a matter of preference, so you can do either one. I'm just exploring ink right now. this section is tricky. You have a little bit, leave a little white, a little bit, leave a little white, and it's like that. Then for this part, this is blue. Don't forget to look at your object again. Look at the original to see what are you supposed to do with this. Don't try to remember from memory. When you're drawing from observation, you have to look constantly. So this section I filled in with pencil, and now I need to fill it in again, but this time with the marker. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna leave it alone, let this dry just a little bit. I'm gonna work a little bit more over here, then I'm gonna come back and erase it and then put in the ink, okay? And here I'm just gonna do one little dot and one little dot, super fast. You see, I didn't overwork it to get those buttons. And again, looking at my original constantly. Okay, the camera is kind of tricky. It goes first off, do the round shape, then it's a little fatter on the left side, then here, be careful and do this part, and that's all you're gonna do. Super careful not to press too heavy with the marker, because like I said, the ink is gonna get absorbed by the paper and you end up with a puddle. So always cautious, always. You can always come back and add a little more ink if you need to, but it's impossible to take it away. Okay, I got those parts. Now, like I said, with a control eraser, I'll be able to get in there and just erase that little bit. It's at an angle. Sorry, it might be annoying. I need to get this part, and I'm gonna go here. I only moved it to be able to get this motion. Okay. As you're working through your drawing, you can do more edits. See, like I could edit this to be a little further out. Make sure that the distance is nice and even. Doing the same thing right here as I did earlier. If you do little notches, try not to make marks. I'm gonna go back smooth. I like to pull. If you push when you're drawing, it's not as effective, I realize, at least for me. Remember, I am just sharing with you what I do. There's more than one way to do things. You know, for you, it might work a different way. You might want to experiment, and when you do so, other things happen for you than what happens for me, and that's fine. Right here, I'm going to do the same thing. Watch. This is supposed to be blue, and I did it with gray because I wasn't planning on doing color. And then I changed my mind and I said, hey, you know what? I want to do color. And I'm going to go ahead and just do this and come back, erase, and make it blue. Because I can. That's the whole reason we're doing the sketchbook, is so that we can try things out, right? So why not? I decided. And then here there's a little white showing through, and then you get these things like an arrow. I want this to be nice and straight. Nice and straight. That's pretty good. And then I'm gonna come back and erase, and then fill it in. I'm still looking at my object. Oh my goodness, all of these also needs to be blue. That needs to be blue. That needs to be blue. That needs to be blue. So what I'm gonna do, these markers that I'm using, they dry really fast, but I'm gonna be cautious. I'm gonna draw these, and now I'm gonna go back. I'm dying to see this one right here. And when you erase, be gentle, little circles, little circles. Do not bruise your paper or your sketchbook. Just get in the habit of doing little circles like this. Watch. Little circles. Now I'm getting rid of all those lines, all the graphite that's in this drawing. If I intend to just do this little bit, I can just go here like this. And that's more controlled. And this is a good eraser on this mechanical pencil. This is the original pink eraser, so it's a really good one. But you can also use a vinyl. I like the vinyl eraser about the best. And I think I can erase all of it. Now I lost some detail here. I'm gonna look at my original again to figure out that shape. Down here, I wanna be careful. I'm gonna very lightly erase these so I have a little bit of a ghost line. A little bit of, there it is. Not erase it all the way. This is just my strategy. This might not be what works for you. Or you might have a better way than my way, and that's fine. I am just sharing my sketching time with you. I'm not saying this is the only way or the best way, but this is what works for Iris. Okay, so I'm gonna start filling this in. Okay, so that works. Then these little guys need to be filled in also. Gentle, don't press heavy. Soft hand. Done. I know this one's right here on the outer side are blue. Double check. This on the outer side blue. Okay, you're still watching me. I know it's so silly. It's like, why are you doing it this way? Because I'm working with gravity, remember? It's the R2D2. Okay, those right here. And then this. I'm thinking I'm done doing the curvy delicious. Okay. I can go back to straight. Yay for straight drawing. Okay. So in here I need to do a couple of lines. And I would like to start in the middle and then see how many I can actually fit. One. Not that many. Maybe one more. Two more. Okay, it's like a little grill. Then over here, these little triangles. Oh, wow. do not press hard. This is such a juicy pen. It wants to make a mess. Easy. And then here you're supposed to make like a cross inside a circle. So barely touch it. And that's what it is. I wouldn't do anything else. Just stretch it out a little bit. And stretch it out a little bit. Okay, it needs to look a little bit like a cross. Okay. I think it does it right there. Then these little buttons are going to be blue buttons. I think I'm gonna try to leave a little white in between them. Watch this. So I'm doing the top. I'm leaving a little tiny bit of white. Close, but not all the way. If you go all the way, you won't be able to see that they're buttons. So you want to leave that sliver of white on each one, and that's gonna help. Now on this one, we got to do those circles that we did before. I'm afraid to do it straight up with the pencil. So after making the circles right here with pencil, then I went ahead and did the outer edge with the blue, and I worked my way in and did the circles with the pen. And then after that, I double checked everything. I use a pencil to do all the gray areas on my drawing of this object, and I was looking at the original object to be able to find out where the gray goes. So I shaded these softly, and then I came back and I did a heavier shade, and that does help to create the illusion of depth in this particular area. It's darker on the bottom. I did gray all around here, all around there. And just by looking at the object, I did gray here and blue. And the top of my R2D2 right here, I looked at the original, and I was looking, and I was doing one section at a time. So I did all of these, then I stopped, and then I looked again and realized where does the next section of gray goes, and I did that, and then I stopped, and then I did this part, and then I stopped. And constantly looking at the original, I added these little buttons with blue, and down here I created a line of a horizontal line. So this line is a line that helps to anchor the object. And at this time, I just went ahead and cleaned everything up. And I did end up with this R2D2, which I'm very happy about. So the key here, guys, is to keep looking at the original, and then don't be afraid to change your mind as you're going through these. And then also don't forget that when you're working on your sketchbook, this is just practice. It's like doodling, and if it comes out as a finished piece like I did on this one looks really good, I'm happy with it, then yay. But if it doesn't, then you can start over, do it several times. I could do the same R2D2, turning it sidewise, do all kinds of different positions, like, you know, different poses with the object, just change it around and have fun with it. So keep that in mind, and I'll see you tomorrow.